A pretty good game yesterday. 23 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists, 2 blocks, though she did have 5 more turnovers. Her Fever did beat Angel Reese's Chicago Sky for a second time this season, 91-83. But the flashpoint of this game was what was ruled as a flagrant 1 foul on Reese when she hit her rival Clark in the head as Clark drove. After the game, Angel Reese said she did not deserve a flagrant, that she just made a quote-unquote basketball play. Here's what she said.
It's a basketball play. I can't control the refs. They affected the game, obviously, a lot tonight. So, I mean, I'm always going to put the ball back. Y'all going to play that clip, what, 20 times before Monday? So.
Well, we don't work in TV, so I'm not going to play it anymore. But,
I mean, this clip going to get out somewhere. I think we went up really strong a lot of times, and we didn't get a lot of calls. And going back and looking at the film, I've seen a lot of calls that weren't made. I guess some people got a special whistle.
Some people have a special whistle. Okay, Keyshawn, your reaction to what Angel Reese's reaction was?
I mean, it was a basketball play in my eyes. She was clearly going to try to make block the ball, but like one of them blocks that you throw into the third row. She wasn't trying to like just tip it. She was really trying to swipe at it and just missed. And came down on Caitlin Clark's head. I don't believe that it was intentional, malicious, nothing of the sort. But because it's Caitlin Clark, because it's WNBA, they play against each other like 100 times in the last week, we keep seeing this rivalry between these two continue to escalate all the way since college. And there's a Reese and there's a Clark. And that's really the way that I look at it, is going to garner that attention because of those two. And because of what Caitlin Clark has gone through this season on certain flagrant fouls and picks and things. And we just, every day we're having a conversation about Caitlin Clark. So it's just going to bring eyeballs to the situation. And then with Angel Reese, you know, she got this kind of like swag attitude, so you start putting that together with Caitlin Clark, and it's something to talk about. I don't think it was malicious, intentional at all, Skip, not one bit.
I agree. I mean, I thought it was a basketball play. You know, the way she went up, she jumped when she jumped. But, you know, there's always, whenever Caitlin Clark is involved, there's always going to be an extra microscope on any little play where there's an aggressive play towards her. Because I was just thinking about earlier in the game when, I forget the other guard's name. They got tangled up. It was early in the game because I was watching it. They got tangled up and the other girl threw Caitlin's arm off and it was a foul on her, but initially Caitlin Clark initiated the contact. You know what I'm talking about, Skip? And I peeped that. But so it's always going to be extra eyes when it's involved in her.
Was it Kennedy Carter?
Kennedy Carter.
Okay,
that's exactly
remember, she was the one who rammed Caitlin on the dead ball foul that got switched up to a flagrant.
Yeah, so, you know, I just think that with her, like I said, there's going to be extra eyeballs whenever. And Angel Reese, she's frustrated with her comments. When you think about her comments, you know, when she talks about is there, you know, the whistle going, you know, extra calls and all of this. I think she kind of directed it at Caitlin, but it wasn't necessarily toward that play. Because when you watch Angel Reese, she complained every play. Every time she went up and missed the layup, she didn't get the call. She out there like Luka Doncic. No, seriously, she was. She just looking at the ref, throwing her hands up, and she was a little frustrated for the simple fact she wasn't getting the call and for the simple fact that her team's not doing well this year. But, you know, she's playing. She's being herself. You know, and I love what Angel Reese is doing. She's been labeled the villain. Okay, we accept that. We love her for being that. And she's going to continue to play hard and be herself, and we can accept that. So that's my reaction to the game, to her comments after the game, and it's got us watching, Skip. I woke up and was like, let me watch this game.
I hear you. Likewise.
Let me watch this.
It started at 9 o'clock in the morning.
It started at 9 o'clock, and I usually sleep in on Saturday. I'm usually still in the bed.
Sunday,
Sunday, I got up. I even went outside to watch it in my backyard. I said, let me give me a nice little cup of coffee, had my hookah going. And I
don't need to know all that, man.
And I put the game on, I kicked my feet up. It was Father's Day.
It was Father's Day.
hey, I was like, let me check this out though.
Yep.
I hear you. Ordered DoorDash, all that, didn't you?
Man, no, you see, I put that grilled fish, filleted him up.
All right. I can't judge intent. I don't know what's in somebody's head or heart when they go after somebody else. Are they trying to block the shot? Here's the weird thing. Look this up before the show, and I still have a hard time believing this, that Angel has only 2 blocks all year. She's not a shot blocker like natural born, where some women, men can just block shots. They just have the instinct. Maybe she's just not real good.
Good at it.
Yeah, not real good at it, because she's really good at offensive rebounding. That's what she does the best.
Yeah.
So for the year, Caitlin has 15 blocks and Angel has 2. So, and you would think it would be flipped.
Yeah.
Because, you know, again, Angel's listed at 6'3" and Caitlin's 6 feet. 6 feet still, it's
Pretty
substantial size.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Okay. All I know is if you hit somebody in the head with kind of your elbow, you kind of whack them across the head, then no matter what the intent is, you have to call that a flagrant foul.
Yeah.
I mean, you just do. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's a flagrant foul in the men's
it's
game.
automatic.
Yeah, okay. So now I listen to her post games, and yeah, she's become the villain. I don't think she wants to be the villain, but she's become the protagonist, the opposite. She's the
instigator.
She's the instigator.
100%.
Her post games reek a little bit of jealousy and bitterness. That's how it comes across to me, but I don't know. I can't, they're still too young for me to know for sure where they're going to sort of stand.
Maybe edgy. Maybe
Yeah,
she's
definitely
plays with an
edgy.
edge.
I told you she talked that talk. She just
Yeah,
got a
she
different.
play with an
she does.
edge and she talk with an edge.
She's got a different style.
I get it.
She's going to have to accept the fact that when her team on Friday night went to play the Washington Mystics, they kept it in the little gym, the little building, which holds 4,200, and that's what they drew. And when Caitlin went there a couple of weeks ago to play the Mystics, who are the worst team in the league, they moved it to the big gym. They moved it to the big arena because it was the Capital One arena, and they sold 20,333 seats. So Angel drew 4,000 basically, and Caitlin drew 20,000. Okay, that's a fact. That's been happening consistently.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm looking at what's happened in these 2 losses, and Caitlin has outplayed her. So she's just gonna have to play better. And even on rebounding, she's a great offensive rebounder, but Caitlin's now only 5 back of her in defensive rebounds for the season. Well, that's pretty good. So Caitlin's averaging 16, 5, and 6, and Angel's still having a good rookie year at 12, 10, and 2. But the point is, all of her post game, and again, she's playing the villain role, it just comes off as so negative. You guys like the media is against her. I don't think the media is against her. And when she says special whistle, I got to tell you, I've watched every one of Caitlin's games. There have been so many times when she's trying to dribble the ball up the court and she gets met at half court by a very physical defender who just footballs her, just attacks her,
no call.
and they don't ever call it. They just let them play, and I'm great with that.
Yeah.
But you can't tell me she's getting a special whistle or she just be just marching to the free throw line like James Harden used to march to the free throw line. So I don't see special whistle.
No.
And that Kennedy Clark play, I don't know. That just looked bitter to me. That just looked like she called her the B word and just went after her.
The Kennedy Clark play was, I mean, it just was one of those things where she obviously took issue at some point with Caitlin Clark. I mean, that's just, it is what it is. We can see it for what it's worth. You don't have to tell us that, oh, it's not something personal there. There's definitely something personal there. Call it the B word, let her know if you get up and you come after me, then I got something for you.
Yeah.
So we know that's personal.
Angel stood up and applauded over.
That's something personal, but that's no different than the men's game, though.
Yeah.
It's the same. They're out here competing.
Good.
And they're competitive.
I love to hear that.
It's the same.
Yeah, I love this.
I mean, it is.
Yeah.
I love this.
We want to, because they're young ladies playing against each other, we want them to be out there with their pretty high heel shoes and their nails painted and just play like they're out there competing.
I don't.
We don't want that, though. We want them out there playing basketball.
Yeah.
And so when it gets to a certain level, Skip, we all sit there and try and find something that we could bicker about
Yeah.
one side or the other. That's what we look for.
Just weird to me. And I'm not the biggest Caitlyn fan. I'm just saying she doesn't say anything ever to provoke anybody else.
It's not, look, it's not, we keep talking about this. It's not her.
Yeah.
It's everything around her.
Yeah.
You said there's jealousy. I wouldn't call it